Run, river, run, run through the hills. Run, river, run to the sea. Run, river, run to your place beneath the sun. Run, river, run over me. Run.
Hi, welcome to be my guest today. We have from Upton, Dan Cloutier. Many of you may know him. He is a great musician. He's a songwriter as well, and he has brought his git fiddle with him, and he's going to play us some of the songs you've written yourself, right?
Yes, indeed.
How long have you been doing this?
I've been writing songs for 25 years, Jan.
25 years. When did you start? When you were 4 years old?
I started when I was about 14, because I'm turning 40 next month, so yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I've been writing a lot of songs.
Oh my God. Now you do gigs all around the area.
Yep, I've played shows for the past 20 years all around Cambridge and Boston, New England. I'm in a band right now. We're called the Great Molasses Flood.
Yeah.
And we actually have a big show coming up at the Amazing Things Art Center in Framingham, Massachusetts. In June is our next show. And we're in the middle of about to finish up a live album that we recorded.
You're going to have it'll come out in CD, right?
It'll be on CD and Spotify and all the digital sources, indeed.
You know what's coming back is the big
The records, yes.
The big
vinyl,
LP. And
yes,
yeah,
the
I
LPs.
remember. I thought, oh, we'll never see them again. We certainly do.
They're big. They're big.
Across the street, I think that, and never mind. They sell those too.
They sell, well, a lot of people buy records because the records, the CDs are small.
Yeah.
And records are big. And if you want a physical piece of an artist, you want the big one. So the pictures are bigger, they're more crisp. And then people love the sound of those old vinyl records. So it's fun.
So you've been doing this a long time.
I've been playing guitar and singing for a long time.
So you were in high school, you started.
I started writing songs when I was, just in like ninth grade.
The Great Molasses Flood is the real deal. They had that in Boston.
They did. The Great Molasses Flood happened in Boston 100 years ago this past January.
What made you decide to take that name?
Well, so the band is four of us, and we're all songwriters.
Yeah.
And we've been playing solo for a long time, and I've known the band for a long time, and we've backed each other up, and we've always teased about the Great Molasses Flood. What happened was about 12 years ago, I wrote a song called The Great Molasses Flood.
Yeah.
And maybe I'll play that song first.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But whenever the other members would back me up, because we've just been friends for forever, we would joke that we would call ourselves the Great Molasses Flood, because we're all from Boston. It's a piece of Boston history. I was a history major in college, and I didn't even know about the Great Molasses Flood.
Where'd you go to school?
I went to Gordon College. It's up in the North Shore. It's in Wenham.
Yeah, I've heard of it, yeah.
Yeah. And so I didn't even know about it until years afterwards, so it was just something that's fascinating.
We're going to hear him play. Come on, show us.
All right, so this is a song called The Great Molasses Flood, and that that I wrote a long time ago, but we've rearranged it, and now the band and I do it in this way. I hope you enjoy.
Go for it.
Well, drink your rum and have some fun. Go and stomp the city down. That sugar cane gets in your brain, makes all the girls look so fine. Down at the forge, you feel this rumbling in your blood. It is the Great Molasses Flood. Well, for centuries, tall ships came in, and their cargo made by slaves. People around the world can drink New England rum while they work themselves to the grave. You can still hear a plow hitting that field with a mighty thud. That thud, the Great Molasses Flood. An explosion, it sent molasses through the streets. tall, moving fast, knocking buildings down, and people covered from head to feet. You never heard this story, history gets lost in sticky mud, in that mud of the great molasses flood. Great molasses flood.
Where have you been hiding? Why have I not heard from you about you?
I live in Upton.
But I know, and so am I. Where? Oh my gosh, where have you been playing?
I play mostly in the singer-songwriter community outside of Cambridge. I play a lot at the Amazing Things Art Center in Framingham.
Well, no wonder you're going outside of the area here.
Yeah, because I mean, most of the singer-songwriter stuff, it's all based out of Boston's kind of the hub of the folk music and of that kind of writing. There's decent amount of stuff in Worcester and within the surrounding 10 miles of our lovely hometown. It's not a lot. There's a lot of bars. When in my 20s, I played a lot of bars and I played a lot of that kind of stuff, which are great shows and really important stuff. But
sure. Well, we have the rec committee. Got to see our head of our rec committee. We have over at our town beach.
Yeah, I've been there with my family. I take my kids to some of those shows.
Yeah. Now, we need you to play there.
That'd be great. I just don't know the contact.
Gosh, yeah, because we have to all kinds of music. This is, what would you call this? I don't know. Is it rockabilly kind of?
That song is a little bit rockabilly folk. I tend to, because I play mostly acoustic guitar, I also play banjo. Yeah. I get lumped in as a folk singer, songwriter. But it can be anything from kind of like indie rock to country music. There's a big wide.
You're very talented. How long have you been doing this? When did you start?
I started playing a lot out in Boston after I graduated in college, 2002, 2003.
So did you major in music arts?
No, I majored in history and biblical studies. It's something that I always loved to do.
Yeah.
I just love songwriting. I remember when I was in high school, it was just a passion. It was something the first song I could ever play on the guitar was something that I wrote.
You did?
Because I was writing poetry in middle school, and that just gave me an outlet.
You're on your way.
I was on my way.
Your family must have seen this coming.
They did. They were surprised that I became that obsessed with it. But
oh no! Now, if people want Dan, how can they reach you? If they want to get a hold of you and do a gig or whatever.
There's lots of ways to reach me. My website is just dancloutier.com. That's my last name is Cloutier. My band is The Great Molasses Flood. You can find us on Facebook. Our website is greatmolassesflood.com. It might be thegreatmolassesflood.com. It's one of those two.
And you would be, if somebody, how far would you travel for a gig, your group?
Oh, it depends what the gig. I've traveled as far as, the Atlantic states before for gigs. It depends what, it depends.
Do you go alone or do you have your band with you?
Well, in the past couple of years, it's been mostly band shows. Because I've done the solo thing for so long, playing in the clubs and stuff.
How many in the Great Molasses Flood band?
There's 4 of us.
There's 4. Now, do you all play one instrument each, or?
Well, I'm the guitar, banjo, harmonica player, and then the other 3 are more. They're actually even more interspersed. They play one. There's 3 of them. 2 of them play guitar, 1 plays bass, but they also all play hand drums. Mm-hmm. So they kind of rotate through, and we all write songs for the band. And we won a big grant this past January to record an album based on songs about the Great Molasses Flood, the actual Great Molasses Flood that happened in Boston. And we recorded the night on the 100th anniversary of the actual event.
How can people get a hold of your albums?
Well, our albums, it's either the 2 websites, so dancloutier.com or greatmolassesflood.com. The Great Molasses Flood will be the first album. It's coming out on June 15th. June 15th this year, so in just about 2 months.
Go for it, Dan. Play us another one.
Another song, huh?
Our Upton's own.
What kind of songs, what do you want to hear?
Oh, you go for it. You're the entertainer. You choose. We're talking with Dan Cloutier. He's a musician, obviously, and he's a songwriter. He is one of our Upton's own. And thanks out to Tom Bayer for sending him our way. I think it's great.
So I was going to think about what songs to play, and I think quiet songs work for this room.
Go ahead.
Because of the way things are laid out. Just got to get in the zone a little bit, Jen.
It's okay.
My family owns a vineyard. It was my grandfather's dream, and I'm next in line to run it. But it's so hard to stay clean. The sun comes up each morning, and the grapes on the vines, they always grow. And I stomp them hard now with my feet to ease the burden in my soul. I jump in the car each Tuesday. My weekly meeting in town. And we drive by old alleys where past trouble it went down. My family owns a vineyard. I feel like I'm swimming upstream, and I know our wine is good wine. It's hard to keep clean. The sun comes up each morning. The grapes on the vines, they always grow. And I stomp them hard now with my feet to ease the burden in my soul. Cause I will live for each and every day. And I will live no matter what the people say. My family owns a vineyard. It was my grandfather's dream.
Do you know, I was thinking and thinking, I'm hearing the riff. Remember the Cat Stevens songs? All on the free, all aboard the Peace
The
Train?
Peace Train,
Okay,
yes,
he had
theme
a
song.
riff, and I felt that same cool feeling. Did you hear? You've heard Cat?
Of course, of course.
I remember. I thought, dude, I remember the riff, and I said, my God, it's perfect. That is perfect. Tell us again how they can reach you.
Well, just reach me at dancloutier.com. You can just my last name. I also own dancloutiermusic.com. So
Now,
that's fun things.
how many songs have you written?
How many songs have I written? Gosh, I average about 10 to 15 songs a year. So you
That's a
stretch that
lot.
out, 300, 400, something like that over the
How
years.
did you and your buddies find each other to make the band?
So I'm actually the host of a long-running open mic
Yep.
in Framingham at the Amazing Things Art Center, and it's an open mic specifically for songwriters. It's kind of like a folk singer-songwriter open mic, and my bandmate Kim Jennings is one of my bandmates, and she started going to that open mic about 12 years ago, and we started to back each other up on our solo albums. Our other bandmate is a gentleman named Ricardo Barraza, and I actually have worked with Ricardo. I work at the Michael Lisnow Respite Center just in Hopkinton. which is just the next town over.
A respite center.
Respite Center.
Oh, yeah, right on 135.
Right on 135. That's where I work. Yep.
Very neat.
Yep, and I've been there for 16 years, and Ricardo's been there for just as long, and he's a great songwriter too.
Yeah.
Guitar player. He started off being more in rock and roll and bands like that, but we run music classes together for adults with disabilities over there. So we've been doing that for a long time.
So people can reach you too about that. Can you go and help people individually?
Well, the Respite Center is always looking for volunteers. It's a great organization. Just hopkintonrespite.com is that organization.
What do they do with them now? Respite what kind of people are living there?
So we help children and adults with disabilities and special needs, and there's a lot of different programs. We own 4 group homes in the community.
Wow.
We have a day program.
Yeah.
Where adults over 22 come, and there's about 70 individuals who come each day. And then there's 2 daycares for different levels of what each child would need.
Did it used to be a...
and we do respite. We do overnight respite, too.
A drug home?
Yes, it used to, a long time ago, back in... Because I grew up in Hopkinton.
Yeah.
And I've been living in Upton for 11 years now.
A recovery house.
Yeah, it was a recovery house for a long time.
Yeah,
And
I heard about it. Yeah.
Definitely. Right in the same location, but when my bosses, who are still my bosses, got the building, it was condemned. So it's a new building on top of that building now.
Yeah, I think I saw it when it was kind of like being revamped.
Yeah.
Do they have a wheelchair access?
Oh yeah, wheelchair access, wheelchair bathrooms.
So you're from Hopkinton?
Yeah.
Well, that's okay. In Upton, we'll say it's all right.
Well, my children go to Upton schools, and
How old are your kids?
my son is in 1st grade, and my daughter is going to be in kindergarten next year.
Aha, my son, he's 26, but he started very early. He's got a little one who just turned 6 and one who's 7.
Yeah, so my son is 7.
Yeah. It's a cool age. It's an interesting generation, but so's my son, the millennials. Oh, my God. It is different. Now, Dan is here in Upton, and he's a musician, songwriter. Dan Cloutier. Again, thanks, Tom Baer, for introducing him to us. We're going to have him back again. Give us another song before we say goodbye.
Okay. Just think about what song I should play.
Yeah.
Well, I remember the bonfire on St. Martin's Day. As a young girl, I marched in the parade, and the church bells would ring, the children dance and sing. They can't take those memories away. And then a war came to our country like a drunkard at night. Was stumbling round town asking who wants to fight. And 2 sons of my own answered his mad call, and they paraded away at the start of the fall. They melted our church bells to make ammunition. Though the bells rang for peace for 300 years, and we knew the war was lost the next quiet morning, when the silence, it just turned into fear. And when they needed more metal, we gave them our silver, and it was our grandmother's wedding gift from the century before. And in the dark, cold, long winter, we gave them our hunger and watched as they tore down that cathedral's door. And they melted our church bells to make ammunition. Though the bells rang for peace for 300 years, and we knew the war was lost lost the next quiet morning. In the silence, it just turned into fear. And the bells they rang on the day when I married my husband. They rang on the day our sons went off to war. And we gave until we were all broken. Now we can't give anymore, 'cause they melted our church bells to make ammunition. Though the bells rang for peace for 300 years, and we knew the war was lost the next quiet morning, when the silence, it just turned into fear. When the silence just turned into fear, and someday we will all disappear.
Oh, shit. So right out of college,
Right out of college.
you started doing it.
Yeah, that song's about World War One. I should preface the songs. Why is he singing about church bells being melted?
Well, that's okay. That's okay. So when did you know you were going to start a band when you left college?
No, I loved being a solo artist for a long time, and I got to play a lot around Boston. In the folk scene or songwriter scene, I definitely had a good go at it before I decided to take a step back and raise a family.
Well, it's good to know that Dan is right here in Upton. And before we close, Dan, how can people reach you?
Again, you can reach me at dancloutier.com. You can find me on Facebook. I have a Facebook fan music page. The band I'm in right now is called The Great Molasses Flood, and we're thegreatmolassesflood.com, or it might be just greatmolassesflood.com. And we're also on Facebook, and it's really fun to be here, Jan.
Thank you. We're going to have him back, too, because maybe like this summer or something like that. But I want to get you in touch with the rec director here in Upton, because I would love to have you over there. Not just
our band would be good there. We would
have the band over there. I mean, it's a nice beach.
Yeah.
You've brought the kids
There's a nice
there.
crowd. There's always a nice crowd. It's a
Yeah,
beautiful
you got
beach.
that.
I love Pratt Palm.
Thanks for being with us.
Thank you, Jan.
Yep. All righty. We'll see you next time. I'll be my guest. Thanks so much, Dan.